Hey folks, my name is James and welcome to my video and my channel, Beginner Guitar Tips and Tricks. I want to introduce you to my new friend. I call this Demo, hence the title of this video, introducing Demo. Demo, not in the sense of demolition, but in the sense of demonstration and demonstrator. I made a few videos already for this channel and I realized I targeted all of this towards beginners. Give you some very helpful tips and show you some little tricks to help you play something that sounds cool when you get frustrated from doing your theory. I keep emphasizing, stick with your theory. It's critical. It's going to lead you to greatness. But I know I understand the frustration. You get tired. You think you can't do something. You get stuck on it. You need to step aside. Stuff I do on my channel here helps to show you little quick things that can help you make a cool sound. Not as a substitute for your theory. Definitely stay with that for sure. As a supplement to it. So you can combine the two and hopefully become a fantastic guitar player or whatever it is you want from it. But this is the 6th video I've done on this channel. And I realized the first 5 videos, plus a few other ones that I've already got recorded, just not uploaded, we're done with my stuff. I've got my guitars here. Let me turn you around a bit, show you some gear. There I've got my tube amp, my cabinet. Down here I got my pedals. I've got a little 6-channel mixing board right there. And I'm recording videos of little beginner guitar tips and tricks for you beginners. Again, this is what the channel's targeting. So if you're an intermediate, advanced, or pro player, nothing new for you here. Everything here you already know. This is really geared for the beginner players just starting out. And I realized it wasn't right for me to be doing my videos on gear that you likely don't have. A lot of times a beginner guitar player gets frustrated, will start blaming the guitar, saying, look, it's the guitar, or it's the amp, and I don't have the right equipment to sound good. So what I wanted to do was do a little 180. Stop doing videos using my gear. I wanted to start doing videos using gear that's sort of in line with what you probably have. So, Demo is the guitar. We'll put it down for a moment. I just want to show you that I pointed out my tube amp and my cabinet earlier. I don't want to do these videos through that anymore because, like I said, you probably haven't got that. So what I've got is a little practice amp I've had for decades. And it's right here. See, very small little amp, which ideal for just practicing for in a small room. It's got enough power that it can get loud, but not so loud that you're going to disturb your neighbors. Just disturb your family. But you can get a variety of different sounds and tones out of a little amp like this, and you can get them cheap. Now, what I did a video before about beginner guitars, what to look for, and gave you some ideas, including the kit. Everything in a box. You get a guitar, a little practice amp, a cable, some other things, maybe a strap, some picks, a gig bag, variety. The key is the guitar, some type of little practice amp, not necessarily this one, but any one will do, and a cable to connect them. And from there, anything else you get's bonus. But you don't have to go out and spend money on big brand name guitars when you're starting out. So that's why I said I'm just going to stop doing anything on my channel through this stuff. Unless maybe I throw one out there just for fun. But I want to start doing stuff out of this amp. Doesn't have a lot of features to it, but it's got an input. It's got a clean channel volume, so that's without the distortion, the fuzz, the heavy sounds. But if I wanted to get heavy, there's a little button right here and 2 controls that control what's called the gain. It's the dirty channel, it's distortion. And a lot of little amps have something along that lines. Big amps too. It's a very common thing. I push the button, it activates it, and now this volume and gain control the sound, not the master volume. I turn it off, kills these controls, goes back to the master volume. And some standard EQ dials, like treble, mid-range, and bass. And this amp also has a reverb. I won't use the reverb in case you don't have any piece of equipment that has reverb or other echo type effect. I want to keep this as genuine as possible and as more likely to what you have as possible. Because I figured all of these other things that I've been recording on my gear really lacks some credibility because it's not what you're using. So I figure most of you out there probably have either a popular brand name entry-level version of one of their products, or you've got an entry-level guitar by a company that specializes in entry-level guitars. I won't mention any names. I don't want to sound like I'm cutting down any companies or favoring any over any others and getting somebody mad, but a lot of the ones you see on Amazon, there you'll find the whole guitar in a box with everything you need. Also, you go to your local music store, they'll quite likely have the same concept. But one thing you'll probably find, even if you look at the guitar you're on right now, if you look at the headstock, you probably see a name on there, some name. It doesn't necessarily have to be one of these names or a big brand name that's you know as a giant in the industry, but a name of some kind, sort of identifying the guitar. What I wanted to do is really make this channel now more about beginner quality and level gear and equipment. So like I said, you probably got something with some name on it, either on the front of the head or the back of the head, or if you look on the back of the body, if it's a bolt-on neck, there'll be like a chrome plate that the screws go through. There might be a name on there. So I went hunting and decided I want to use a guitar for these videos for those of you who are beginners and are sort of struggling and wanting to learn a little more, and maybe some different ways of learning the same type of things. I figured I need to be on a guitar that is at the entry level. So like I said, remember I mentioned you probably have a name on the head of your guitar. I did one better. I don't recommend you go to Marketplace to buy anything used, just because as a beginner guitar player, you're not necessarily going to know what to look for and what red flags there could be. Better to buy an entry-level new guitar. Like I said, you can get the guitar, the amp, the cable, and a few other accessories and that for between $200 and $300, if that. And you're all set. You got everything you need. Instead of spending $300 or $400 just on a guitar, or going to Marketplace and buying something off of somebody and discovering, oh, the neck's warped or it doesn't work at all. So I would say stick with that. But I've been playing guitar for 52 years. I restore guitars. I've got something down here right now. You can see the tape on the fretboard. But I know what to look for. So I was on Marketplace and I saw something that I thought, that's perfect. That's the guitar. It was $60. I didn't even haggle on the price. I figured, give the guy $60. I don't mind. The guitar played okay. It played along the lines of a lot of entry-level guitars. And it had one feature, though, or lack of feature, that I think will make it stand out against what you're currently playing on, whatever entry-level brand or model you're using. Because remember, if you have a name on your guitar, on the headstock or something, I found the actual true no-name guitar. And here it is. And this is what I call demo, only because it doesn't have an actual name. There's no name brand anywhere. We'll go all the way up right to the headstock. Look, nothing. No name of any kind. There's no sanding marks. Nothing was removed. It's not a replacement neck. It's original neck. Everything is original on here. It's an entry-level starter guitar. Flip it on the back. See, nothing on the back of the head. There's the sort of chrome plate I was talking about. These screws go through the body into the neck, holding it in place. There's no name anywhere. And that's perfect because you have a name on your guitar. Probably. I'm going to go one step below that. The actual literal no-name guitar. So because I use it for demonstrations and it's a demonstrator guitar, I figured I'll have to give it a name. I'll call it Demo. And this is the introduction to Demo. Look, no name at all, nothing. However, it does look and play like a guitar. It doesn't sound as good as the stuff behind me, and it's not supposed to. They didn't cost $60 on Marketplace. There's a reason they cost significantly more. This is what you start on, something like this. And I'm going to show you that it makes guitar sounds. And you can learn on something like this until you discover, yes, I like this. I want to move up and buy something a little higher level. or you decide, no, this just isn't for me, then you haven't gone out and wasted several hundred, maybe even $1,000 on a guitar, amp, and cable, and any other accessories. So even to keep everything as entry level as possible, here's my cable. I don't use these kind of cables on my gear. All my cables are, I was going to mention, Yorkville Sound. They're not coiled cables. They're all straight, heavily insulated, virtually no noise. If you buy an entry-level guitar kit, you're probably getting a cable something like this. No name. That's what I want to use. I want to keep everything as authentic and credible as possible. So let me plug this all in and give you an idea of how demo sounds. Always plug your cable into your guitar first, amp turned off. Now, plug the cable then into the input on the amp, and then turn the power on the amp. Let me see if I can fit the amp into this video as well. I don't have a lot of room right here, but I think I might be able to. You can sort of see it's there. Oh, as a side note, this little thing right here, guitar tuner. In your kit, you may have got one of these. Works pretty simple. You just clip it onto the head of the guitar, turn it so you can see it, and just play a note. And it'll tell you if you're in tune or not. They all work a little differently, but they all essentially do the same job. So fortunately, mine went green, means this string is in tune. But I'm not going to bore you by tuning a guitar. I've already done that. I'll not bore you, I hope, but tune the guitar, that is. So we'll put that away. And let's turn the power on the amp. All right, we've got life. Demo, the no-name guitar, the no-name coil cable, and the tiny little practice amp. So I'm not playing through my gear. I'm not playing on anything that you can say, oh, I don't have that. It's way better than anything I got. But it plays. And we're going to just run through a few things here, some basic chords. They're just a basic little riff with sort of your standard D, A, and E chords. Chords that you may already have learned or are learning now. Again, I don't want to do things that are way advanced, some very extensive suspended chords and such, because you're not there yet. You'll get there. Your theory will take you there. I just want to show you how to have some fun. And No Name Demo just played those chords. Didn't sound as good as they could on a $1,000 guitar for obvious reasons, but sounded all right. Now let's try that gain setting that I mentioned to you, where it gets sort of distorted, dirtier, kind of heavier sound. We'll hit that. There you go. Excuse me. Again, that was all demo. And the little practice amp and the little no-name coil cable. Did it sound great? Did it sound like something you'd hear on recordings by great rock stars? No. Did it sound decent? Yeah, it sounded fine. Your guitar may sound even better because it has a name. Remember? Demo has no name. Maybe I'll stick a little decal that says demo on here just to So it feels like it belongs, like it feels like it's part of the group. But no, Rick, pick up your guitar, whatever the name is, and play it if you would like. And I'd encourage this because I'd like to know what you're playing. As you've seen, Demo has no name, so now it does. It's just called Demo. And Demo will be making a lot more appearances in future videos because, like I said, it doesn't make sense that I'm playing on any of this stuff and this gear when that's not what you have. I'm trying to be sort of on the same level as you, equipment wise. The amp, yeah, it's got a brand name on it, but it's a little practice amp. You can get these dirt cheap at your local music stores. This particular one, it's decades old. They don't make this model anymore, but they do have similar. And different amp makers have little practice amps that are fairly cheap. But again, I really do suggest getting one of those whole sets. Everything in a box. One guitar, a little practice amp, a cable, some other accessories like picks and strap, and maybe a gig bag. Learn on that. Because this, it likely will have a name. This does not. Don't know what this is. Don't know where it was made. Know nothing about it. I just know it's exceedingly light, which means it's probably hollow. It doesn't feel or sound like it's a solid wood body. So what? I'm not making these videos to show you shredding or to be the next great rock star. I want to show you stuff on similar equipment to what you have. And that's why I'd like you to leave some comments. Let me know what you're currently playing. What kind of guitar do you have? And don't be embarrassed if it's a name you think isn't good. This is no name at all. So whatever you have is likely better than this. And that's the point. But I'd really love to see you know what you're playing. So please leave me some comments. Let me know what you're playing. Maybe some pictures. Maybe a bit about your amp as well. And maybe you're more advanced. Maybe you've got some more like this. Please share it with us. I'd like to make this more of a community so people can come here and they can see and they can learn from each other as well. And I guess that's about it for this video. Just really wanted to introduce Demo, and you'll be seeing a lot more of it in the future. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you enjoy the content I'm putting up here and find it's beneficial, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. And also, feel free to share the video with anyone else you think might benefit from it. And again, please hit the comment section. I'd love to hear from you, answer any questions you might have, or read any of your comments, especially know what gear you have. Some pictures too would be fantastic, because we were all beginners once. And I can relate. I've been there. It was a long time ago, but I've been there. And that's why I'm doing these videos and run this channel. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you found it informative. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.